Documents first obtained by CBS 6 reveal the Richmond City Jail on several occasions failed to adhere to the state standards for providing safe supervision of inmates. After 5 of the facility's inmates died in 1 year, 4 of which happened in just 5 months, the State Board of Local and Regional Jails cited Sheriff Antionette Irving with violations, including failing to conduct at least 2 required security checks per hour and for failing to properly document all inspections and incidents. Those findings in direct contrast to what Irving told us in past interviews when she said that she was following the regulations.
We're doing our twice-an-hour checks as we are responsible for throughout the regulations.
I caught up with Irving at a city council meeting on Tuesday to ask about that. You probably remember last year when I was asking you some of these questions about the supervision and whether you guys were doing all the required checks. You repeatedly said yes. Right? Do you remember that?
Yes.
However, the investigation found that wasn't true.
Well, I'll say this, DOC came and did inspections, and during their inspections, they saw the same things that I saw. So into more deeper investigations, the more you look, the more you can find and you can see if there are any discrepancies.
And speaking of discrepancies, Irving says the reason her jail's security logs were flagged is because the times that deputies recorded for completing a round of inmate checks did not exactly match up with when the deputies actually did those checks. The board says to address that issue, Irving needed to train staff about the criminal consequences of forging public records. When you read the report, it appears that your deputies were forging public records.
Well, I have no comment on that particular part of it. My only comment is that the timings, there were some discrepancies in times, and we're working to ensure that there are no longer any discrepancies in time.
The board's investigation left it open-ended as to whether these supervision violations were directly linked to the cause of recent inmate deaths, because they declined to make a determination on that either way.
Basically, what we're saying is the same thing that they're saying, that at this particular time, there's nothing that correlates whether or not they contributed or not contributed.
But you can't confidently say that your jail was not responsible for the deaths that occurred last year?
I'm not going to speak on that because they are all active cases.
During the meeting, Irving pleaded with Councilwoman Reva Trammell, the public safety chair who has been critical of her jail, to be more supportive.
But I need the support of this committee. I need the support of this city's leadership. I need that.
But Trammell did not want to hear it.
You don't sit there and would stand there and say, we are at fault, or we're blaming you for something, you are the sheriff and you're running the jail.
But I don't think that our staff would appreciate that back and forth. And it's not fair to them for that type of interaction to happen every time I come to a public safety meeting. Every time.
Now, Sheriff Irving also told City Council members today that right now she's facing a staff vacancy of 191 positions. That's out of a total of 385 total positions. It's a number that has not improved over the past year. She says there are ongoing efforts to continue training her officers as well as make improvements to some of those issues that were cited in the report. Here outside the jail, I'm Tyler Lane, CBS 6 News.